Hey, welcome back to JG3 Reviews, where we explore the world of fountain pens and fountain pen accessories. Very poor impersonation, but a fun show. Bonus points if you know what it's in reference to. And being fall here where I live, I thought it'd be fun to do a fall edition of what's in the pen roll with a focus on the inks in the pens that I've chosen according to a fall color palette. So that means the leaves are changing, and where I grew up, that meant that the grass went from dead brown to dirt brown, that sort of a thing. But I've also lived in places like the foothills of the Ural Mountains and the Adirondacks and things like that, where the color just absolutely explodes during fall, making it, to be honest, my absolute favorite season of the year. So naturally, my pen roll changes when fall comes around. Now, one of the things that I love about Rickshaw Bagworks is that when you order your pen roll or your bag, whatever, you get to choose everything. So this is pretty low key, and that was the goal. So you might think, wow, that is the plainest Rickshaw bag I've ever seen. Yeah, it might be. I wanted a pen roll that was very low key. I didn't want it to bring attention to itself. I don't need any attention brought to myself. I just wanted real nice, low-key, basic, kind of a leave-it-alone pen case, if you know what I'm saying. But, if you make it bright orange and say, don't touch this, yeah, your pen roll is going to get raided. People are curious. They just can't help themselves. So anyway, what I like is that you order it all according to what you want. Again, low-key in my case. I don't remember the name of this, but it was something like a faded denim blue, and I went with the gray on the inside. I don't even buy anything much that's gray other than a couple of inks that I really like. But I liked it for this. Let me tell you the things that I like about the case. One, fantastic materials. Everything you've heard about them, if you haven't gotten one yourself yet, is true. They use really good materials. If you're like me, maybe you're into air rifles or target shooting, stuff like that. I do that. This will remind you very much of a really good soft shotgun case or air rifle case, something like that. And just really, really well made. So you pick the color, you pick the trim, you pick the inside and the color of that, and it will be whatever it is that you want. You can make it as flashy as you want, choose from some really, really vibrant colors, or you can go fairly incognito like this. Whatever you want, and I like that. And by the way, they're not sponsoring this. I don't have any affiliation. I just really like the pen roll, and I think they do a good job. This one happens to hold 6 different pens. If I were to lift that flap, I'd give away the rest of the video, so you got to maintain a little bit of mystery there. But this nice soft liner keeps those pens unscratched and safe, and then that rugged, durable outer shell does a fantastic job and really is a good sturdy material. Now, what's in that pen roll? Well, what's in that pen roll is a bunch of fall-colored inks inside some pens that, also pretty much fall colors themselves, all colors from nature. And I like that and every fall because it is my favorite season, and I'm ready to get outdoors. The heat is finally over with for a little while, and I love it. First is a pen that has been on this channel before. Actually, I think all of these pens that I'm going to use today are pens that I have reviewed before. This one is the Birmingham Pen Company's 6th Avenue pen. It's a hand-turned resin pen. I really, really like it. This particular acrylic is the Eye of Sauron from Lord of the Rings, and just really, really dynamic and cool. This pen and the ink within it have an annual reservation when fall rolls around. And that ink, of course, is Monteverde Mandarin Orange. Now, you might not think of Mandarin Orange as a fall color, but I just think it's a nice, vibrant, true orange. Has just on some papers a little bit of shading, but mainly it is just a really great true orange that captures the orange of pumpkins and leaves turning and all of that. Good fall color. Now, a new fall color to me is the ink that is in the recently reviewed Ferris Wheel Press Jewel. This one is in Juniper Moss, a really great lacquered brass pen. Writes really well, and the pen itself is really fitting for fall. But so is the ink that I used in this pen's recent review. This ink is Ferris Wheel Press Spruce County Post, a really nice natural green, a little bit to the darker side, but not overly much, has some nice shading properties. Once I tried it in this pen, I think I actually have already inked it in another pen as well. I really do like this Ferris Wheel Press Spruce County Post. Next up, we have another perennial favorite here. This is the Eureka Dodecagon. This is an Ultima material, extremely durable pen. Comes with a number 6 steel medium nib. I really like this one. And what ink did I decide to put in this? Well, one that I keep in this pen actually fairly often. And that is Diamine, Ancient Copper. One thing you'll notice on this list of inks is that I don't actually have any inks that are marketed as fall color inks. I've chosen colors that just remind me of the palette of nature at fall. So I think Diamine, Ancient Copper is just a fantastic color, one that has some natural shadings to it, and one that reminds me that I need to go out and check the copper ionizer and make sure it's working in the pool when I get done making this video. Next up, familiar pen to the channel because I get this one out fairly often, and that is the Asvine V126. It's a vacuum filler pen, has a number 6 nib. This one has a medium nib, and this has an ink in it that, as I said when I reviewed the ink itself and maybe the pen itself, I didn't actually expect to care that much about this ink, but it turned out to be one that I really like and that is surprisingly well behaved. It is a shimmering ink. Any guesses what that might be? If your guess was Diamine Golden Sands, look at the gold shimmer in that ink, then you're correct. My favorite time of the day in fall is the golden hour, when the sun is just about to set and it lowers over the field and shines that golden light on the trees over on the hills. I just think that's a beautiful time of day, especially when the weather is nice and cool and crisp, and this ink captures that hour quite well. Another pen that shows its face on the channel from time to time is this Visconti Mythos in brown. I just love the resin of this pen, but the overall pen and its function is also quite fun. Has that magnetic cap and that gold-plated nib and just a really cool design overall. Just a fun pen. And what ink is there? Well, shock of all shocks, it's Monteverde Brown Sugar. I have actually had other inks in that pen, but if you watch the channel, you wouldn't know it because this one seems to rotate its way back into that pen an awful lot. And you can't have a fall color palette without a real nice brown, and Monteverde Brown Sugar is definitely one of my favorites. Now, last but not least, what's the last pen that you think might be in that pen case? Can you tell? Am I giving enough of a hint there? Well, you know, it's fall, and we have the browns, we have the greens, we have the orange, and we have the golden hour sunlight. But fall also means, here where I live, some really beautiful big open blue skies. So what do I have here? Well, I guess I should have used Monteverde Blue Skies ink, but I didn't. So what's inside the Ranga Abhimanyu pen, which, like every other pen here, one of my favorites. I absolutely love that acrylic. They do an awesome job of hand turning these pens over in India, and I just think it's a fun pen. But what is in that pen? What do you think? What do you think? Well, you knew it was going to be blue, right? Yeah, Waterman Serenity Blue. I think, to me, there's nothing more beautiful than a crisp 42-degree Fahrenheit day with blue skies and leaves turning. And this color palette, it just kind of makes me happy. I like fall, I like all those pens, and I enjoy all these inks, and the smell of an apple cider donut coffee. That's a good day. All right, that's all the pens that would fit in the case, so that's all the colors that I've got for fall. What would you add? What would you take away? What are your fall palette colors? Or if it's not autumn where you are, what fits the season where you are? Are you in a rainy season, a dry season, springtime? What you got going on? And what inks do you use right now to reflect it? Share all that in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, for liking, sharing, subscribing. God bless you, and have a great week.